Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
Man, you kind of cooked. This whole librarian thing, high-key fire, bro. These books are gnarly.
What did I tell you about talking to me during break, you rat bastard?
Hey, bros. What you doing back here in the dark like this? I didn't even know there was a back alley to the library.
Holy, you are huge. You must be like 300 pounds of pure muscle. Wait a minute. Are you that Tony Chopper guy?
My street name's Dwayne. Dwayne the Chop Johnson. But yeah, that's me.
Bro, look at these arms. Bro, what's your stack? You on trend, bro?
Actually, it's a completely natty friend. I can give you exactly what you need, though. Here.
Whoa. So, we just eat these and we look like you?
That's right. No need for pre-workout. Or water, even. Just pure devil fruit energy.
Bro, it totally worked. I'm shredded now, man. The power of the Loco fruit courses through me.
Come on, bros. Let's get out of here and get hit the best workout of our lives. How do you guys feel about toes, by the way?
What?
Christian, how's it going? How's it going, buddy?
I mean, it's going pretty well. I got no complaints for now.
No complaints?
I will eventually, but just give me time.
May you do the honors introducing the guest.
Oh, well, it's our very own community member, Ultra Rara Furby, also known as Sarah.
Dwayne the Chop Johnson.
Hello, Sarah.
Yes, I go by many names. In fact, I think the last time I was on, my username was different. I think it was Rara Bear, right?
It was probably just Rara Bear.
Glad to be back. New year, new me. Thank you for having me.
I mean, logically speaking, evolving from a stuffed bear into a Furby kind of makes sense, I think.
Yeah, that's actually my Pokemon evolution. It just keeps progressing like that. Different stuffed toys from the 90s.
All right. Who wants to do this summary?
Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
Oh, that's fun. I can read it.
Do it.
Okay. This is episode 8, Deer and Loathing in Drum Island. It's time, folks. Time to reflect upon the dwellings of secrets discovered in this chasm of adaptation. The season finale begins with Dalton face-to-face with Wapol, the Mad Muncher. Dalton takes a final stand by unleashing his super cool and strong devil fruit power. Oh, wait. He got defeated immediately. We cut back to the castle, where a sad snooze recalls the bittersweet memories of meals he prepared for his mother in her final days. As he and Nami share a moment of friendship, the gang back at the village find themselves in a sudden tower defense situation as Wapol's zombie army approaches. They need not fret. Usopp's ingenuity brings to light a grappling bow, which allows Vivi to warn everyone of the incoming trouble. As they prepare for battle, Wapol makes an unexpected entrance through a secret tunnel, which implies that Dalton, the head of security, had a way to get up there this whole time. What the fuck, Dalton? After a quick skirmish from everyone, the team watches as Luffy and Sanji combo Wombo, the Mad Muncher. Inspired by their actions, Dr. Chopper agrees to join the crew. As they leave the island, Dr. Kureha signals her farewell by igniting Hiriluk's dream, allowing it to shine brightly in the night sky. And as the cherry blossoms warmly blanket the island, our baby boy Chopper's heart crumbles at last. On this cold winter night, a spectacle bloomed, and all present felt the undeniable love of the great Dr. Hiriluk.
Wow. So a question we've been asking guests is, what are your opinions of this season so far?
I think that overall, the first season benefited from the getting to finally be an anime adaptation that didn't totally suck. So I think that was big. It's also One Piece, so I think that, it's easy to get it a lot of good PR because everybody wants to see what that's going to look like. However, even though this season had a slightly less viewership. I think it's a better quality season in terms of the pacing and the storyboarding. I do think where they slipped a little bit, and it's not like they did an amazing job at this in the season 1, but this season it kept jumping out to me that I think at times the dialogue felt like it fell a little flat. Not all the time, but sometimes it felt so children's programming, like they didn't trust me to understand what was going on and they really spelled it out. Or the jokes were very Disney Channel. Like in this episode, at one point, somebody goes, "Can I get a little help?" Like something along those lines. While I actually was much more on board with the pacing and the style of the story and its faithfulness to some of the spirit of the manga. I think that some dialogue stuff was difficult for me. And I think that it was not as cinematic as season 1. I will talk about this later, but sometimes the fight scenes, like, I don't know if they ran out of budget or what, but I don't know why we're fighting so often indoors. We're not getting like these nice, cool cinematic shots that sort of look at the whole scene, which is funny because I think that was as a huge callback. Jordy, your complaint about what happened as the anime progressed, because in the very early days of the anime, it was really scenic. Remember? You get these like big ocean shots and the birds, and then as you move forward into the anime, you start to see that less and they get more up close, and this happened too from season 1 to 2. So overall, if I'm consuming it as a transcript, it's a better, interesting story and the pacing feels nice. And then there's these other areas where it felt like maybe we lost focus a little bit, or the writers sometimes were a little bit cliche.
So you brought a lot of the points up that I have written here on my thing. Throughout the season, we didn't really express our own stuff, like our general thoughts about the season. And I think now that we're finished, I wanted to do a little host recap. So Christian, if you have anything, because I have this whole paragraph here that pretty much going to reiterate what you just said.
The last 2 episodes, 7 and 8, have somewhat saved the season for me. I don't up until Drum Island, I was not particularly enthralled with the way that the story was going. A lot of things were changed. Stuff was moving at a lot different pace. I wasn't a fan of a lot of the changes. There were already things from season 1 that they didn't really do a good job of fixing that I didn't like from season 1 into season 2. Largely, I think they kept the same sort of tempo with everything that they did in the first season, and it didn't, in my opinion, work to its benefit until 7 and 8, because 7 and 8 also are adapting some of the best parts, in my opinion, of early One Piece, though. So it's kind of getting a bit of bias territory on that one. Maybe season 1 benefited a little bit better from just being the new thing, and like Sarah said, just not being shit, basically. We'll see what happens in season 3. I think season 3 will probably be the point where I am either in or out of the series, I think, because they could, with what's coming up, they could do a really good job, or it could go bad enough that I will just hate having to watch any more of it.
Can't stand the disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah. There will probably be more things that I think of as we keep talking about the rest of this episode, but that's what I got for now.
Most definitely. 1 second here. 1 second. I probably should have enlarged this because I wrote like an ant. Him. Critics loved it. Fans had mixed opinions. Me, I have thoughts. To start, I learned that Oda was heavily involved in this season. Based on interviews of the cast and production team, it was confirmed that he was effectively king of the castle. To put it bluntly, mistake. Big mistake. Oda is not a showrunner. His input should be taken very seriously, but it should not dictate the decisions made behind a series like this. It needs to be put against other people who are heavily experienced in creating television. So far, this feels like a CW show with a bit of budget, and that is frustrating considering how great it can be. From a technical and artistic perspective, this is magnificent. No notes there. Mwah. Mwah. No notes. The writing at times feels like something from a kid's show, which this is, except they also throw in crude humor and
very crude.
Occasional murder that is kind of meaningless. And also, they kind of censor it when it's actually somebody they don't want to murder.
And Chopper says the word shit. So,
A lot, actually.
I want new voices in this creation, new perspectives. I want powerful monologues, jokes with room to breathe, characters that aren't these one-note individuals, but real human beings with a wide range of personalities. Fights with tension. This list can go on forever, so I'm going to stop there. To summarize, to me, this is an amusement ride for everyone to enjoy, except it's a flat roller coaster and it's going 10 miles per hour. You know, a lot of the criticisms are stemmed from him, like his decision to change something in the story. A lot of people are like, why'd they do that? It's Oda. It's your GOAT. Your GOAT did this to you.
This is what we've been talking about up to this point, where Oda's using this as his like second chance to rewrite some stuff that thinks he did wrong from the original series.
I empathize with anybody that's making big decisions for this show, because I just don't see how you can make everybody happy, which is maybe a cliche thing to say, but truly, like,
yeah,
it brings to mind a thought that came to me in the form of a dude named Van Lathan from Midnight Boys. Pew Pew. He very much stated it clearly because they were talking about Star Wars and why a lot of recent Star Wars properties were kind of not hitting. And he basically said a lot of the people that grew up with Star Wars are making the Star Wars stuff, except that's not what made Star Wars great. Star Wars was great because someone wanted to have like a new adventure, a new imaginary universe, and wanted to play around with the concept of just space in general and all these like samurai lightsaber stuff and all that. The people who are enjoying it now are like, no, I want my character to do this. No, the toy should be played this way. They're not being played right. And he's like, that's just like diluting the property in general. And funnily enough, the person who likes Star Wars the least is making the best shows and
Jordy,
movies.
You've offered me an incredible transition. Can I move us somewhere?
Yeah.
Building off of Jordy's point about there's something to be said for somebody not coming in with a preconceived notion about what a product should look like, but like being driven by kind of the spirit of whatever the writing is. I got to watch an interview with Rob Coletti, who played Wapol. He shares at the start of that interview that he did not watch the anime. So he did read the manga up through Drum Island. He did not watch the anime. He didn't want to know how Wapol sounded. He didn't want to know how he moved. He didn't want to understand his mannerisms at all. He wanted to take the source material and make it his own. And his takeaway, this is a paraphrasing, is that Wapol never had his father's love and he wanted to impress him. So like, if with actors, I feel like even if you don't know anything about acting, you've probably heard actors talk about their motivation. I think this is his motivation. He's thinking this is somebody who feels they have to prove something. And then he feels empathy for Wapol. Later in the interview, he says something like Wapol is a pathetic person who doesn't understand how to connect with other people, so he dominates them. And when I watched that, I thought, that's why this character felt like real to me and a little less cartoony than the manga, which is what I would want from the live action, is that I have no problem in the manga or the anime with somebody like Wapol just remaining fairly 2D and not that much depth. But it's cool and interesting when you add a little bit of like grittiness to it, because the menace that came through the screen with Coletti's performance, not there in the original part. And I was like, that was a nice add that he did. And it did make the stakes feel a lot better, because if he didn't add that menace, where's the tension for like the second half of this whole season? You think he's just this idiot who you just have to get past and move forward to. But the problem is that unlike the series, Drum Island is supposed to be like a finale, and Drum Island wasn't written to be a finale in that way. So you have to add a lot more depth to Drum Island beyond Chopper, like the Wapol part of it. And that's why the fight was also especially disappointing, because there just wasn't that kind of pressure on Drum Island. When Alabasta was the payoff when you're reading it in the manga. But now, because we've split it like this, we have to get payoff here. So we didn't get it from the fight, but we did get it from his performance, even though he died in a really stupid way. But I did like how he embodied the character. Did you all like how Coletti did Wapol?
I loved it. I loved Wapol.
Across the board, the villains are the best part of this series, like bar none.
The antagonists in the series, early in the series, feel a little two-dimensional, and they were given something to chew on. Feel a little more dense now.
There's something weird about the fact that they had to condense so much stuff that they're like, they also go, okay, we have to make people somewhat invest in these characters because we don't have 10 episodes to do it like in the original source material. So we're going to pack all of this interesting stuff into an episode or two. And I'm like, wait, but like, I want more of this and that character.
You know what it also might be? They are the few characters that are allowed to make mistakes and be unlikable. All the main cast members are put in this tiny little box where they're so stifled by like the character they're supposed to embody
There's probably something to that too, where they just have so much. There's a good bit of pressure to just be all encompassingly likable. Here's where that argument particularly falls flat for me is with Zoro's performance, because fuck whatever direction they give to him. They just tell him to stand there and look pretty, basically.
Based.
So, okay, this is the best place to say it. In the first scene of episode 8, it's Dalton and Wapol talking. If you actually sit and like look at a lot of the writing of this episode, there's the word monster is used frequently. I think that one of the questions that episode 8 is trying to ask, and maybe the Drum Island arc in general, is what really makes somebody a monster? Like, what actually is a monster, and who gets treated like a monster, and what does it mean to like act monstrously? Do you think that they were successful with trying to like make that a theme or like have commentary around that?
No,
not in the slightest. That is very much lost in the sea of moments being ruined by not letting them breathe.
Totally.
That scene happens, and immediately Dalton gets stabbed in the heart and dropped.
Yeah.
And I have to sit there and be like, he put up a fight in the show. He at least put up a fight.
Yeah.
Like this one, he stood up and died.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even give him the fight. Not even the
It's
scrap.
so disappointing.
There was nothing.
It's so disappointing because even later when he's talking to Chopper, Dalton says, help them, the people that called you a monster, the people that shot at you. You want to help them. You know that like when you look at it back, Dalton's also talking about himself. He feels betrayed by this like new regime that his father used to be loyal to. And yet you'd have to really sit and look at the episode multiple times or look at the transcript to see that they were even trying to do it. Because of what you all said, we just glossed past it really quickly.
Even the moments that are supposed to be meaningful to Chopper when that convinces him to join the crew, like when Luffy is fighting side by side with him, he goes, yeah, I'm kind of a monster myself. And it's one of the finer points of like why Chopper wants to end up joining the crew, you know, besides the whole like display that Luffy does with shut up and join our crew. It's one of the things that over the course of the arc gets him to like being around these people more often, in particular Luffy. So the fact that it's just lost it's tragic.
There's multiple kinds of monsters even in this episode, including that buck-ass army that like came out of Wapol's mouth.
Yeah, that was a choice. They were kind of cool, but I don't know.
Okay, now should we talk about that part? Because then we can properly wrap in Zoro commentary
They were pretty cool.
to that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as decisions go, to have the zombie army, whatever we want to call this, these chimera men, metal beasts, I like it. I appreciate that we tried something different with Wapol's power that wasn't in the anime. This was one of the things that I had hoped would get me on board with the live action version of Wapol in the first place, was a unique take on his devil fruit, because the way they use it in the source material is so boring. Like it's the most bare minimum he could possibly attempt. Now, all the surrounding parts of it, like the way it's dealt with and the people that fight it and how they fight it and the dialogue around it, that part.
Oh, wait, can I wait. Can I reenact it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, gang, we can get this done. Oh, shit, take cover.
I don't think I don't want to fight this anymore.
Immediately. They broke in that gate and they said, oh.
All right, every man for themselves.
Zoro's the only one that went out there.
Yeah.
I was actually very excited for that scene when it was like building up, because it was like, okay, wait. Zoro's rallying the troops. Okay, we got Usopp on board.
It took one line.
I was like, okay. And then they immediately scattered and never appeared again.
Yeah. You know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing of Drum wasn't ever meant to be a finale kind of thing. And now they have to figure out a way to make everybody else relevant that they didn't have to do in the manga and the anime. So then we like manufacture a completely inconsequential fight. It's just for spectacle because you see the body horror. In fact, like Coletti even says that when they were having him practice like doing the mouth opening that they were going to CGI later, originally they just wanted him to open it like the cartoon, and he's like, no, like this would be painful, which is why you see him kind of like puke, like he regurgitates, because he's like, I want there to be some weight to this power, that it's just as much as like a curse as a benefit.
Good for him.
So you see him like look like uncomfortable as these things come out of his mouth. And then, you know, there's a lot of body horror in general in this version of Drum. But it doesn't mean anything because they just needed Zoro and Usopp to be doing something. And in that sense, Christian, even though I'm not a Zoro head, I will defend the actor in saying like, I just don't know if that's his fault because he just was given not a great. What material was that? Was he really going to work from in Drum? Like Zoro's just like, what is he doing he's just lifting in the cold, right? He barely does anything.
Largely speaking, he has no real role.
This is post whiskey, so it's immediately him going, "Hey, I'm not locked in enough," and then he locks in even harder after the initial lock in. So which is like this is like Zoro literally slowly building himself up into the stoic character he's meant to be, rather than in this one where he started as.
Yes,
I actually have a weird take in that I enjoy Zoro in this season. I find him funny.
That's crazy.
He's a hilarious character to me. He is a very dry humor, and his jokes are like so subtle. They are so damn subtle that I find it hilarious how subtle they are. That's just like a meta humor sort of thing. It's like they put a joke in there, and I don't think people are going to catch that. And that's pretty funny.
Are you talking about the jokes like the uvula comment and the whale?
No, those are actual jokes. Like that.
Okay. My take on Zoro this season is I don't have a take. I don't think there was enough for me to come down one way or the other, and I feel like I'll just hold back until I feel like the actor had a moment where the manga gave you a lot of material, and like, what did you do with it? The sword stuff at the very start was good. That was a moment for him to follow through, and he did. And then here in Drum, I just was basically like, let's move on. Let's get away from Usopp and Zoro. Why are we here?
I was thinking about this earlier. They need to get rid of the 3-sword style.
That is a take, Jordy.
That's certainly a take, but go on.
They cannot do that in the way they want to as the series goes on. There is certain choreography limitations in having a sword in your mouth, okay? I just want to point that out, that if you have a couple people fighting you and you have a sword in your mouth, there's a lot of ways you can go about that. Every way is going to look wonky. You end up with bent swords that look like foam, like really awkward choreography that kind of don't make sense. You just get rid of it.
And he can't talk.
Yeah, he's a swordsman from heart. And I don't even think that three-sword thing, and that's what makes him unique in the anime to start. It's like, oh my God, he uses 3 swords. That's crazy. We don't need that. Zoro's enough of a character. He's got enough personality at this point and known reputation that he could literally rock one sword and no one would question it.
I don't think that's true, but
2 swords is better, okay? More palatable.
I mean, maybe they're starting that. Yeah, I noted in that fight in episode 8, he doesn't use 3 swords. He didn't do it.
They're not doing it.
He didn't lock in at all into that fight.
Because they're so limited by that. They're never going to do it in these like fights. When they do that, they have to literally plan an entire like weeks worth of setup for it.
It's going to be because Zoro is the focus of that thing, and if they don't do it, people are going to scream.
Yeah,
I guess we'll have to see. We'll wait and see. But that is a hot take. Can I say something completely unrelated? Did anyone else think it was funny that when Vivi had to climb up that mountain, Usopp was like, "Yes, I have just the trick." He gave her a projectile grappling hook. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, because he goes, right. So just so you know, it's not going to get it all in one shot. So just make sure like you keep going up.
Okay, get your footing and shoot it up again a couple more times. Like, what?
I thought that was crazy. And then you see her go up and her body's just like stiff. And she goes, up the mountain.
Yeah, they do the like, so anyway, how fast does this thing go?
Yeah, that was, and you know what's hard is that this is the downside of it being a live action for those gaggy reasons, because since it's a real human being, I'm asking questions I don't ask when I watch the cartoon of like, I'm sorry, what?
It was also a good way of setting up Usopp's progression in the series.
That part I liked.
He in the anime at this point hasn't progressed. He actually doesn't progress for a while, actually.
Yeah.
He progresses in like I'll do it for my friend's sake. He never does it just casually.
Yeah, for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm. And this is a casual way of him going, she'll be fine. Like in the anime, he would be like,
oh God, oh
geez. I hope she's fine. He would have been anxious as hell. And right now he's just watching. He just is just off his back. Like, I feel like this is the perfect rendition of Usopp, who actually is learning on the go. He sees something, he goes, oh yeah, we're in danger. And then he go through. And then next time he's like, I've been through this. No big deal. I'll do this.
I like this Usopp. That part was good. I like to see him gadgeteering. That was really nice.
I do think Usopp is one of the stronger Straw Hats for the live action adaptation.
Yeah.
I think he actually might be the highlight of the season, actually.
Highlight of the season.
I think I still appreciate Nami most of all, but Usopp's pretty close.
Oh, yeah. What part of the Nami when she was like sick for 3 episodes?
I mean, she looked like she was really dying. She was selling that.
Christian, are you talking about actors? Are you talking about Emily Rudd? Or are you talking about Nami as she's portrayed? Like,
I think, well, a little bit of both. I appreciate that Nami is being toned down from the like always on everybody's case about money sort of thing, and that they're explaining the best they can her like sixth sense for weather and just integrating that into her, and her ability to interact with all the other characters. Like I think that in terms of how well she interacts with all of them, like she is the one that very easily has the best rapport just across the board. And I don't think that's true in the anime.
Christian, what an amazing setup. Yeah, let's talk about her rapport with Sanji. Yeah. So they're trying to make them a thing, no?
They're gonna make them a thing by the end of the show.
I don't think it's gonna be like, they're not gonna go as far as to make it like they're not gonna kiss. They're just gonna really sell you the.
They're just gonna keep side-eyeing each other 3 times an episode like they've been doing.
They 100% are doing it, and that is because Sanji doesn't have he doesn't have an edge. He's just a dude. This is another instance of a suave dude just existing.
He doesn't have an edge. Do you think they all have to have an edge?
I think what you mean to say is Sanji's not an asshole this time.
No, he just has little to no flaws. Like I've expressed this in the past. Like he is not
right. Okay.
He is not a character that needs to grow. He is just a character that exists in the moment and is dealing with perhaps some past issues. And as Lucky said in the past, it doesn't feel like he has anything to work towards internally. He feels like he's already resolved a lot of that on his own. Now, this could easily be a masking situation, and then we like deconstruct it later on. But I would really just appreciate just a thing here or there, like even just more of him smoking. I feel like the smoking thing from episode 6, where like Nami's in the bed and he goes inside and he's super stressed. And it's like, give me stress Sanji or something.
Yeah.
Right now he's just like, oh look, wine. Go. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, piece of cheesecake. Here you go, Nami.
Here you go, Nami.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to guess how old
Sanji,
Taz
please.
Skylar is?
40.
Whoa.
27.
Oh my goodness. 40.
I don't know. You asked that question. It's either young or old.
He's 30.
Wild. Okay.
He has nailed the suave Sanji so well.
So well.
We need to undo that.
Yeah, let's break him.
We need to break Sanji because right now it's not working out. All right, we need Sanji to be a slight mess. Like this, that's the whole point of his character and why he like
well
gets so much love. Sometimes it's because he's like a ball of mess.
They might be introducing that because we got a little bit of Sanji lore.
Record scratch. A little bit.
Just a teensy bit.
And I also feel like that worked in his favor. I don't feel like this is like a negative.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, this bit of Sanji lore. Saying towards your point, I should clarify that this is where they're trying to inject a little bit of nuance and some of that, inner turmoil inside Sanji by dropping some lore that we don't learn about in the anime and manga until, let's see, like 700 episodes from now in canon. So I think it's interesting that this is the thing that they chose to drop to make Sanji more, or give him more depth or some other problem to have rather than just his problems with Zeph, his like occasional argument with Zeph or whatever.
I think that what happens, okay, well, let me ask you this, Sturdy. How much is this like a full spoiler cast as far as like, so the person?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what we're talking about right now, that's on the table because it's already been spoiled?
Yeah, it's already been said.
Okay. So
as far as what's said there's a lot that wasn't said.
As far as the things that are actually said in the show, it's fine, but don't mention anything else around it.
All right. Let me put it like this. When that information is finally given to the audience, it's given in a way where his feelings around that aren't resolved. Like the stuff he talked about his mom dying, about the context in which he's cooking this food for her, about what's going on in the greater family dynamics that makes the relationship with mom so special. These are all pain points that make that lore drop later feel like weighty and really kind of desperate for him. That there's, at that point in the series, we're experiencing a very desperate version of him. And in this one, he is, at least to me, it feels like he's coming from this place of having resolved it internally, or kind of look back on it with a smile. I'm going to read the quote. He goes, "It was a real smorgasbord of sick, and I would march down the hallway, head held high, Nurse's face would turn green whenever I walked in the room, but not my mom. You wouldn't be able to tell she was sick from the way she looked at me, ray of sunshine emanating from the bed. She'd always go, "Oh, my little prince, what have you brought for me today?" She used to look at the lunchbox and she'd just take a bite and she'd smile. Made me feel like I was really helping, And then I got better, honing my skills, my flavor profiles, my savory combinations. But while I was getting better, she was getting worse. And every time she finished her lunch, I'd hug her so tight, it probably took her breath away. And then came the day.
Focus Features and Blumhouse present Obsession.
When I have a crush on a guy, no one knows.
Be careful
I wish Nikki loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
who you wish for. Obsession is 96% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
I love you so much.
It's blood-soaked nightmare fuel.
What kind of spells you put on her?
You have been warned. Obsession. Rated R. Under 17. Animated without parent. Only in theaters May 15th. With special engagements in Dolby.
Where I didn't have to make any more lunches. So every meal I make, I'm making for her. It's done. It's resolved.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. We have his purpose and the fact that he's continuing to live out his purpose. So he's an actualized Sanji.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that despite that little description being touching, it cheapened it so much from what it was. And as a little gripe, kind of sad for anybody that used this series as a way to launch another person into the actual series.
I think there's still a lot to be.
Totally. I'm not saying that it's like a lost cause, but I'm like, wow, what a unfair thing to just lob out there as sort of, I don't know, a tearjerker. To what end?
It definitely should have been teased if they wanted to bring it out. And I was thinking about the way you would set up to something like that, and it'd be the classic, "Oh, Sanji, how'd you get so good at cooking?" He's like, "Oh, I wanted to impress somebody." And
right.
I managed, and then she was like, "Oh, who?" And he was like, "Oh, just no one." And then just that slight pause in his face.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to whatever.
This is
like, that would have been enough for everything.
Epitome of telling instead of showing. Epitome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they use it for this moment to make you feel bad for him when there has been nothing else in the season. And then also for what seems like building up this narrative relationship between Nami and Sanji that, they'll tease but not actually fulfill.
That's all to say that it just feels like this moment was, this isn't the right word, but like stolen valor. I'm like, don't do that.
No, actually.
Yeah.
I would disagree there. I think it was misused.
Misused.
Do you guys know what a bottle episode is?
A what?
Bottle
episode.
Bottle.
Yeah, Bottle. It's a television episode where all the characters are in this small space and there's really nothing going on. And most of the time it's just a budget saving technique of getting an episode out and not having to do a lot. That is an instance where this conversation happens. We get a whole Breakfast Club sort of thing where all the Straw Hats start talking about their past in some way or whatever. He drops that down. Everybody knows. Everybody gets the bond. And that is a good way of using it. Because right now, none of the other people know this. Only Nami.
Right.
And I feel like that was very misused. If Luffy is kind of hit or miss, because he takes that information in and then he dissolves it down to Sanji had a bad past. But in his own Luffy way. It's hard to describe Luffy's way of dealing with lore because he never expresses a lot. He always just shows.
Especially this version of him.
Because if you pay attention to all of Luffy's times he's listened to somebody's story, he either goes, I'm going to resolve this for you, champ. Or he doesn't say anything and he walks silently away. And then you hear a kapow. And then he comes back and he goes, I dealt with it. Don't worry about it.
He does it in these episodes with Chopper. He puts away the rest of the soup and then goes back to hang up the flag.
Yeah. So that is just a Luffyism. They definitely need a way for these characters to understand each other more than just one-on-ones. This is a team. I feel like we need to have more team conversations in this thing. Having them one-on-one, while a good moment in general, not useful for the narrative.
No,
to me at least.
What about, did you want to talk about Miss All Sunday at all? As the president of the Miss All Sunday Simp Club?
I mean, Miss All Sunday is great. Should I say Nico Robin? Nico Robin's fantastic.
We can finally say that, huh?
We can finally say it after an entire season of taking an extra half second to go, all right, Miss All Sunday instead of Nico Robin. I think she's great. This is the same energy that we get out of her in the anime for the most part. Maybe it's even better just because we have actual confirmation that she's a murderer.
You're a weird guy, huh?
Preach.
Anyway,
Preach.
continue, Jordy.
Preach.
Continue, Jordy.
Yeah.
Reminder. No. Reminder that she's a murderer. Keep going.
Yeah, she's a Cold Stone murderer.
Never forgiven.
It's
Never
what I've
forgive her.
always said. I've always said she's the only one who kills in this show.
And is that why you love her so much? Is that why you like her?
It is why I love her.
I hope I'm not sniping quotes as we go, but I'll just keep this little tiny. But when she's talking to Vivi,
Like any good leader, like any strong woman, you're going to try and shield others and blame yourself for this. And I'm here to tell you, you should. As you watch your friends die, do so with the knowledge that the same fate shall befall the people of Alabasta.
I was like, ooh, this is a more brutal Robin than we've previously seen.
Much more manipulative.
My nose has emotional damage.
Super emotional damage.
Yeah. Can I say that my take on this Robin more than anime and manga Robin is that her greatest weapon is psychological. Like, it's very
Absolutely.
clear that the way that she takes her enemies down is by sowing doubt and by messing with people's sense of stability in the world. Because she looks unfazed, but the unfazed isn't coming from like, I'm dead inside. It's coming from, this is a move to make you question yourself.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't know if I have much more to say about Robin other than everybody in this show is kind of flirty with everybody else, and she's not an exception. But aside from that, I like what's happening with her.
You know, the only thing I have for Robin is that her eye twitches a lot in one of the scenes, and it just bonkered the crap out of me. And I was like, who's holding Robin hostage? Who's doing this?
Why is that the one thing?
They left this in here, which means one of the two things.
Yeah.
They fucked up and they forgot to remove it, or they didn't get a second take.
Or it's intentional.
And yeah, this is intentional, and they're like implying something.
I guess with this show, I'm more inclined to say they messed up because when you watch Wapol get yeeted, there's a part where like the CGI glitches for like 3 frames, and it's just like you'll see it. You should watch it again when Wapol gets yeeted. I would guess that just like that, they just left it in and said, twitchy eye be damned.
Who's going to
Use
look?
the cut.
I watched the twitchy eye 100 times before I watched that
100
Wapol
times?
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, way before. I watched it at least twice to make sure I caught that eye twitching.
Twice, 100.
It's very pronounced.
Potato,
It's very
potato.
pronounced.
What else can we talk about it from your pages of notes?
Kareha. She was fun. I liked her. She was harsh, and I appreciated that. I will say the thing that I kind of missed with her is that at the end she says something about she says something about Chopper when I think in the original series she calls him her son too. It's not just Hiriluk.
Yeah, she says goodbye, my son.
Yeah, she doesn't do that here, and that was a little upsetting.
I did enjoy the cherry blossoms. The cherry blossoms were good.
When it came to the ending scene with Chopper, every single crew member got to have a little moment, at least throughout the episodes. Nami's the first one to greet him. Sanji and him got to fight together earlier. Luffy put up Hiriluk's pirate flag earlier. Vivi recognizes Chopper's strength of will. Usopp comforts him about having to leave home, and then Zoro finally puts him on his shoulders. And that, for me, is a strength of this live action to a fault, where they're so oriented on like team chemistry that this is actually why Luffy looks weak, is because they don't let Luffy have more time to be strong and like take control of the situation. But in these moments, it's totally worth it. In the rapport moments, when it's a group thing, love it. Like it definitely made it feel very heartwarming to watch them all bring him in like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was sweet.
That was, I think that him openly crying and then being lifted up, while it somewhat reminded me of how like short adults don't like being picked up, and I wondered how Chopper felt about it, it seemed cute in the moment. And
He's a kid.
he's a kid. He's like 15, right?
He calls himself a man, but he's a kid.
I thought it was 15. Am I wrong?
Luffy's like 16, isn't he? 17? There's no way he's that close to Luffy.
He's the tiniest little brother.
They do make him very, very baby, except when they don't and they put him in a giant mascot outfit.
Yeah. Not the best look. Not the best look out there.
Oh my God. Didn't it feel like 2000 The Grinch with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, it kind of does. It does kind of feel that way. And Dalton, too, for that matter. Dalton's not any better.
I thought Dalton was better.
Like marginally, I don't know.
No, it was better. It was better. Can I just tell you guys something funny, too? Both the person that's in that suit and Michaela Hoover, both stunningly gorgeous. Why did we go so hard on making the cast so hot, even in times when you don't see them? Truly, this person, Michaela Hoover, she could be like a 40-year-old version of Robin. I'm not joking. The person that plays that guy in the suit, Abercrombie and Fitch, whatever you want as far as like male model. And I'm just like, so unnecessary. Is there a requirement for being on set? You know, I want to see what the set design people look like too. Like, is everybody gorgeous?
You know, your words say you don't like it, but your enthusiasm says you love it.
I love that this is a trend because I can't figure out why. So, do we want to say anything else about anything related to Chopper?
Did you like the cherry blossoms?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the cherry blossoms a lot. I think the scene could have used a little bit more gusto, like a little bit more.
Would you even say music?
Yes, that's exactly what I would say. There's like a very light track in the background. It needed more of, again, that like the same complaint that I have with Luffy's scene of telling him to just join the crew. There just needed to be more music to activate like my emotional impact on it. Like Chopper crying is getting me halfway there, but the music is what ends up setting it over the edge so many times in the anime too. And you lose a lot of that impact, I think, by not doing it here.
They do play Symphony No. 9, so they just didn't commit enough.
No, they didn't.
I think the last thing there even is to talk about, unless you guys, like in terms of plots and what happened around the episode, is the fact that this version of Crocodile is interested in pursuing the One Piece.
I think he has the same exact objective. They're just stating it plainly in this live action. Because if you think about Crocodile's objective, he is doing exactly what some of the characters later on in the series have already done.
Right. You're saying in the anime, it's implied, but we don't get that far.
Do you feel, knowing other interpretations of what this character's motivations are, that dilutes something about a potential future conflict? That it just kind of flattens him down into like another competitor with Luffy?
I don't believe flattened down. I think he states that plainly as the series progresses to Luffy. And saying that Luffy is just another stone in the bucket.
I guess I'll put it this way. It has potential to, I guess.
I think that's what I'm worried about, is I thought, oh, did they just figure out a shortcut if there is potential conflict to just smooth over some of the nuance of what might be going on in Alabasta and bring it down to a personal one-on-one issue?
That would suck.
Right? Also, as an aesthetic note, the scar needs to be more prevalent.
It does need to be more
What was
pronounced.
that?
It's very dim. Anyway, do we have quotes that have not already been mentioned?
You should say them anyway. Be redundant. Be brave.
For the things that Dalton is just kind of there for, when he is dying in the forest and Correa stumbles upon him, the moment where he at least is honest with himself and her, where he says, if we don't stand up now, we will be under his heel forever.
This is our last chance to be free of him. If we don't stand up now, we will forever be under his heel. I'm gonna fight, whatever the cost.
Is at least good acknowledgement of his character. I don't remember what that scene, if that scene even exists in the anime, what that looks like, but I appreciate that they gave that level of depth to his character here, because you get a little bit of an inkling of it when he's watching Hiriluk blow himself up and he, quote unquote, fights back against Wapol when he stumbles upon him in the forest. So getting that extra bit of conviction from him was good, and at least helped make me care a little bit more about him as he makes his journey into being the leader of Drum Island, Drum Kingdom now.
Poor Dalton. You're like, I guess I kind of care, maybe.
I feel for the guy.
He's a good character.
I think he's better in the anime, but he's still good here.
He's way better.
The other one I'll say here is Luffy with the flag as he saves it from Wapol's cannon blast. He goes, the skull and crossbones isn't flown lightly. It's an unbreakable symbol, a symbol of conviction. This flag isn't something to be mocked or shot at. Isn't that right, Chopper?
This flag isn't something to be mocked or shot at! Isn't that right, Chopper?
That's right.
And then Chopper gets real emotional about it, and it's just another layer to Chopper beginning to want to join the crew and take up Hiriluk's off advice of just go out to sea and see the world. So again, pretty good. They didn't do it, as we already talked about, how we don't think it did as well as the anime, but it's still important that they kept it in there, and they did a decent enough job with it. So
It's good stuff.
do you have any others, Sarah, that you want to reiterate and or new ones to say?
When BB gets yoinked and Usopp goes, "Well done, princess. She'll be fine." I had quite my fill of quotes. I'm sorry. I could not hold
that's
back.
fine. Who do we feel like is the golden ham?
Usopp forever.
Usopp for the grapple bow.
He did a lot of stuff. He was like pulling moves left and right. All right, this is my Usopp. Usopp from the show, from the anime, from the manga, garbage, absolute trash. This Usopp, godly. Why? He in one episode established his character throughout the entire series. Something that took Oda himself a billion chapters to do, and that is one of my choices. Usopp.
Okay.
They also nodded at a future event of the series in this episode.
For Usopp?
What say you? What say you, Christian?
I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, after episode 7, I'm going to give what I had hoped kind of would end up being my golden ham pick for this episode. I had kind of hoped that my golden ham would end up being for Wapol because I was enjoying his character so much. Before watching episode 8, I was like, I'm pretty invested in seeing how Wapol's character plays out for this. But after witnessing episode 8, I'm like, I enjoy the extra stuff that they did, but like Wapol himself in the episode didn't really like do a whole lot. So like I'm kind of conflicted because I think I don't have a very good option personally for someone that did a lot in this episode. Yeah. There's really just sort of menagerie of people that did things here and there, and I'm just like no one stands out too greatly for me.
When asked what that mouth do, Wapol said Eldritch horrors. That's what that
part's
mouth
great.
Do. Yeah.
he said White Walkers.
Okay. I'm gonna make a bid for Kureha. It's a slow burn bid. It's what you'd call, somebody who's kind of a hero's strong, but I think that she's a silent, well, she's not very quiet.
No,
but I think she's
like
a subtle
opposite
thing that's important. No, and we love that. Keep talking.
Don't ever
please.
Stop, actually.
Don't give that lady the mic. She herself had some character growth that we saw as the flashback and as like present time unfolded. Without her, Chopper would not be in this position. He would have been absolutely... we don't know and I don't want to think about it. What would have happened to him if she hadn't been there to scoop him up? And despite all of her protesting, take up Hiriluk's quote unquote research, which to me seems like explosive food dye. But nevertheless, I was pissed that was 30 years of research.
Surely we could have figured out sooner.
Surely.
Hold on. Wait. Whoa.
After he got golden ham last week for dying.
I'll give it to him again. I'll do
it again.
Okay. So sorry. One, do we see how deep those arrows go
absolutely.
into Dalton?
They should have gone all the way through him, deep. To be honest.
Crazy deep. He was impaled. Okay, so I think that she is the one that we presume, or is it? I can't remember. That she I think she heals him. 2, has helped many other people up to this point in terms of health, including Nami, including like maintaining Hiriluk as long as possible, including being a mentor and a guide for Chopper, which really she's who built up his self-esteem. He had the motivation. He did not have the skill. Not my episode, but I love the quote about like medicine needs practice. There is no fix-all. And I think that her needing to give Chopper a goodbye was corrective and healing from the goodbye that Hiriluk attempted to give him, which was messy and painful. And that she claims, her words are deceiving, that she doesn't like a goodbye. And yet she does just about the most sentimental shit she could think of. And in one fell swoop, pays tribute to both Hiriluk and says goodbye to Chopper and sends him on his way. And I think she deserves the golden hand.
It's a compelling case. More compelling than Usopp, I think.
So that's why I say Kureha. I think that she deserves it. And it's been a work in progress for her for a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'm on board. I think you've thoroughly convinced me that Kureha deserves it.
Thank you.
Cool. Kureha, episode 8, season finale, golden ham winner.
What wonder fools are capable of.
We'd love to see it. Now, we have some small questions for you, the guest, Sarah, to answer.
Okay.
First question here is, what are you currently obsessed with that is not One Piece? Something that kind of makes you lose track of time, keeps you busy.
Okay. So I wanted to be fun with this answer, but for context, I am a PhD student. This is my last year, hopefully, of that PhD. And I have very little time to do cool things. So the real, genuine answer to this is my own dissertation. The thing I've been obsessed with and makes me lose track of motherfucking time. That's what I would really say is this dissertation. That if you don't know what a dissertation is, it is a research project that you need in order to be considered done with your doctoral degree. And it is much larger than a normal research project. It's kind of like a small book. Most dissertations ends up between, 110 and 200 pages. So it's a lot. Wouldn't recommend.
I hate that for you, frankly. All right, moving on. Next question. If you were given a magical button to permanently remove one food item from existence, thereby ruining it for everyone else, what food item are you destroying forever?
For my own entertainment, amusement, and delight, in the most malicious sense, I would get rid of pre-workout.
That does not hurt me specifically, but it is funny that you said it. It is funny that you would so blatantly attack Juan like that.
Yeah. So I just think it'd be funny to watch all the gym heads just kind of crumble as they have to figure out how to prepare for the gym with something besides over-the-counter cocaine. And I don't know, it'd just be fun. I would just be delighted. I would set up a little lawn chair outside of a local gym and just kind of watch the show. I had two other answers to this. So that's my evil answer. My altruistic answer is I'd get rid of peanuts.
That's your altruistic answer? She's doing it for the people that have allergies and calling it a good thing.
Yeah, for the people that have allergies. I would suffer too, but I want my peanut allergy pals to live freely,
They're fine. They got plenty of alternatives.
Wow. See, this is exposing something about you.
Maybe so. You're taking away my peanut butter. How can I not be insulted?
Mm-hmm.
What's your middling answer? What's your middle of the road answer?
I don't think you're ready for it.
How much worse than peanut can it be?
Okay, well, my middle answer would be I would just get rid of gin because I think it
the
sucks.
Alcohol? Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was enlightening. If you were a playing card, what rarity, effect, and image would be featured on it?
Is this question also asking what the playing card would be?
So I think the initial question is like if you were a Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, etc. card, but some people have also just been like a regular playing card. I think Panda called herself like a postcard at one point too. So
cute.
Like really you can do whatever variation that has the word card in it, I guess, that you want to be. Go for it.
I'd play Oregon Trail 1942
Exactly.
postcard.
You have it. Is that your answer?
No, that's extremely niche. Okay, I would call my card the Insomniac card, and it would on the front have something like a bloodshot eye in the middle. And I think that the rarity would be based. So it's a card that comes as a result of how you've been playing, especially if you're not keeping in mind like how you're balancing the strategy you've been using. So if you use too many back-to-back attack cards and you don't use enough health cards, you trigger this card. This card comes up. And what this means is that you have to then automatically play the rest of your attack cards until you get some kind of healing card. Boom, boom, boom on the table. Doesn't matter.
Well, this card's broken.
So yeah, it's broken. So that's my thought.
This card would definitely be banned in tournaments. This card, crazy. You just get to, you put this card down. You played 4 attack cards in a row, then you play this card. You just play unlimited attack cards until you draw a health card.
Here's the problem. As someone who hasn't actually played in one of these card games before, I'm imagining a game where there's almost, I guess, like a referee out there who throw down this card.
Well, yeah, you're making up your own thing. I get it. Yeah.
I'm making a game now. This is a ref created card. You haven't been keeping track of how you've been handling yourself in the game. You went on offense too long.
Right.
Boom,
yeah.
penalized.
So this is like a yellow card in soccer or something. Like somebody.
Not at all. Yellow cards don't make you do anything other than feel shame.
Okay, so then a red card, it forces you off the field.
Hey, just out of curiosity, did you two ever answer this question for yourself?
No.
Okay. Rapid fire. You get like 30 seconds to potentially think of this. All 3 of them. What are you currently obsessed with? Food you'd eliminate? Card.
The obsession is my adorable 2 new kittens that I recently adopted. I don't know that I don't think that's come up in any of the recent recordings because it's been pretty live action focused.
They're
but
so cute.
anyone in the Discord knows that I have a pair of 2 new tuxedo kittens. They're 7 months old. They're adorable and simultaneously the bane of my existence, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
If you were given a magic button to delete a food item, where are you going with?
Olives. Can't stand them. Get them out of here.
Christian, if you were a playing card, what rarity, effect, and image would be featured on it?
I would be some type of card that summons minions. Like you stack minion cards on it, or you can like sacrifice this one card that I am to then summon like minion tokens, and then just be able to overwhelm your opponent with like 15 little guys that just ruin their deck.
So this would be called like the Gru card, and you would be summoning your little minions.
I'm Gru. That's the line from the Marvel movies, right?
No, that's Groot.
Oh, I've been messing up Vin Diesel's character for like 10 years then.
Yes, Vin Diesel.
I think that's what I would be. I would just be I'd be a card that just that lets you sacrifice for other tokens and just like exponentially progresses until you just overwhelm your opponent.
And what do your little guys look like?
It's a good question. I guess they would be they'd just be a bunch of different little animal guys, like a little, but like kind of mangy looking ones though.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because this is not a cute card to play. This is like,
all right, like Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Okay, it's dark. All right, Jordy, what are you currently obsessed with that's not One Piece? Something that makes you lose track of time. So what do you think he's going to say, Christian?
Well, given
I like to hear guesses.
Given Jordy right now, I'm going to say reading literature about creatine.
Okay. I'm going to say some form of coding, learning how to code. What's the answer, Jordy?
Thinking about the next 10 years of my life.
Okay. If you were given a magic button that would permanently leave one food, what are you picking?
My real answer is sugar.
Yeah.
Bold.
A fun answer would be water.
That's
the fun answer would be water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, audience, I think we've learned a lot about Jordy. Jordy, if you were a playing card, what rarity, effect, and image would be featured on it?
What kind of card are you?
That's a hard one.
Parking ticket.
I'm triggered.
My initial thought was a blank card. And then I thought, what's adjacent to the blank card? And I thought the void.
Blank check.
And I thought the void.
Okay, so Jordy's answer is the void.
And then I thought about the effect. And I thought something along the lines of sacrificing a bunch of cards to gain something. I just couldn't figure out what the game would be.
Can you picture like an episode of Cyanide and Happiness? And which is just a little cartoon series, if you don't know, that looks lighthearted but goes dark. And Christian, little stick figure Christian, walks up and goes, "Oh boy, I can't wait to play a game today with my friend Jordy."
The void.
And he goes, "It's a really hard card game." And he plays his card, which is minions. And then Jordy goes, "The void." And the whole room gets sucked out of existence.
Yeah. Yeah. Jordy goes, he plays delete water and everything dies. Everything fucking shriveled and dies.
Yeah, that's intense stuff. So anyway.
Do you have any particular things that you wish to direct people towards for you? Anything to plug, advertise?
Nope. Just I would recommend the thing that you're already consuming right now, if you are still here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us once again here on the finale of the live action. This was great. And see you in 2 years probably when the next live action season drops.
Bye.
Bye-bye.